your hyperindependence is not the strength that you think that it is. It's just abandonment that we've gotten used to. And it's taken me 24 years to realize that that wound is in fact not my personality. And my hyperindependence was not a flex. It was a flinch within my own nervous system. And I can't believe we don't talk about the nervous system more, because as a woman who felt like she was literally on fire for most of my life, to be able to soften and realize that my presence as a woman when I soften is such a gift is so insane. Because a lot of times when we speak about softening as a woman, we speak about it as like, I'm softening as a woman for the masculine. But the gift that it is to be able to provide a space with such tranquility and such softness and such peace is something that we don't see very often anymore, because we have this boss babe era. And there's nothing wrong with this boss babe era, right? Like, obviously there's a time and a place to step into that masculine energy and to take the lead, and especially if you're a woman in business. But also, on the other hand, understanding that your presence itself, to be able to provide a space where people can come in and they feel like they can make decisions and they feel like they can operate from a place of complete clarity, because they don't feel anxious. And a lot of this stuff is energetic. I see even now with me softening, a lot of people are attracted to being in my presence simply because I make them feel more calm. And I've always kind of attracted people this way, which is very interesting. It might just be because of the experiences that I've been through and the way that my mind operates. But just now seeing people that are so willing to come into my circumference and come into my presence, and they want to help me because of the way that I am able to provide space for them to help me, is just incredible. And as women, I think we aren't taught to attract, right? We're taught to, especially when you're operating in hyperindependence, it's a safety thing. So we're like, oh, out of safety, I have to make sure that I have control of the situation. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's never going to go exactly how you think that it is. So like, you don't have control anyways. And to be able to operate through these situations that give you so much anxiety because you're just like, I have to have control, and to just relax and be like, you know what? Let me just enjoy this process. Let me just allow myself to receive from the people that are around me instead of having to do it all myself. And there was times in my life, especially being homeless and working 3 jobs and trying to graduate high school, and then right after high school going into business and growing multiple 6-figure businesses and dealing with people. And it's actually insane to me how far I made it simply just because of my experiences in being hyper independent, and how much harder I made it on myself. Not only that, but how much that hyper independency leaked into literally every single relationship. And this isn't just like romantic relationships. Obviously romantic relationships as well, because you have to surrender. In any relationship you have to surrender, but especially as a straight woman, you have to be able to surrender to the masculine in order for the masculine and the feminine to work in tandem at their highest capacity. And it's so beautiful to be able to actually like submit that to myself and what's the word? Not confirm that to myself, but just admit that to myself, that I actually do like to receive. I actually don't want to live my life like I'm on fire, and it's okay. And to just sit there and just accept it. One of the biggest mistakes that I made in business, and there's not a right or wrong answer of operation, so I'll never be like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done this, or I wish I would have done this differently, like obviously, but the whole point is to lean into the things that make us afraid, right? The whole point is to almost do it incorrectly on purpose, or almost try to mess it up on purpose, because I think that sometimes when we try to do it perfect, we hyperfixate on trying to do it perfect so much, when again, we have actually no control over the outcome, only how we show up and operate. you almost have to soften. And when it comes to business, I saw myself taking opportunities away from other people, opportunities for them to grow, opportunities for them to experience, because, I can just do it better, and I can just do it faster, and I can just make sure that it's done the way that I want it to be done the first time. And I took the opportunity away from other people, and it's so selfish. It's actually so selfish, because how dare me get to experience life at such a capacity, and then because I've gotten to experience life at such a capacity, I take that opportunity away from other people because I can just do it better myself. Instead of showing up for them with compassion because I've digested what I've been through, and actually get to teach and mentor and just be a container for people to come and digest what's going on the inside, and getting to, getting to not like walk through it with them, but just provide a bit of, clarity and compassion. People just want to feel heard. People want to feel listened to. People want to feel like there's space for them in this world. And as a hyper-independent woman, for a long time, you just don't think that there's space for other people to hold you, because you have to hold space for everybody else. And that's just not the case. In fact, it's really selfish, because when you allow other people to hold space for you, you're able to relax and actually operate at a higher capacity. So it's so interesting, the nervous system. But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed just honestly doing nothing. And it's really hard doing nothing and just allowing myself to be bored. High key, I've been so bored the last couple months, just relaxing and doing nothing and getting off my phone and going to the beach and putting my feet in the sand and allowing men to buy me gifts and women to give me compliments, and just allowing myself to receive. It's actually so hard. I can't believe that I'm saying that. It is so hard, but coming out, I mean, we're just getting started, but seeing the light on the other end and being like, wow, this is so beautiful, is just such a beautiful experience. And so to be able to pass that on, especially to other women who feel like they've been on fire and they just give and give and give and give and give. Your hyper-independence is a gift, and it is a strength. I'm not telling you it's not. You are hyper-independent because of things that you've been through and because of things that you have experienced. Do not de-edify or devalue those things, but also know that you have permission. Give yourself permission and give yourself grace and give yourself compassion. Thank you through this process, because who you are and your soul is such a gift to the world, whether it's on fire or not. But I'm going to tell you right now that you will feel so much better inside of yourself when you give yourself permission to just let go of that control. Hopefully you took something from this. I have a plane to catch, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.